Hi everyone! Today is a special day because we have with us an amazing guest, Jessi Elliott, the author of Twisted Fate and its sequel Twisted Gift. Hi Jessi! Nice to have you here with us.
Hey guys, I am Jessi Elliott, the author of Twisted Fate and Twisted Gift. I am 20 years old and I love to write and read, and during the day I go to work as a law clerk for a firm where I live here in Canada, and when I'm not at work I'm either at the gym or at Starbucks writing more books.
Why fairies?
I decided that I wanted to write about fairies after reading some fantasy book. What was it? I think it was one of Sarah J. Maas's books. And I hadn't read any books with fae in it before. And part of me was very curious about what I could do with them. So the first idea that kind of came to me when it came to Twisted Fate was this human girl being kidnapped by the fae and what would happen. So from there came everything else that happens in Twisted Fate and Twisted Gift.
How did you come up with the story idea and the plot?
So when it comes to what happens in the story, I wanted to base it a lot on experiences that normal human people have. So going to college, worrying about job placements and grades and what comes after. I really wanted that parallel of my main character's struggles with the supernatural world and her own human world, and I kind of wanted to mash them together and see how she would deal with it. And that's kind of where the story came from, was giving this human girl supernatural problems on top of her normal ones.
Or what did you inspire to write Tristan as you did?
Tristan, I don't really know what inspired me to write him. I kind of, in the first draft, he was a lot more, I guess, not so chill and compassionate. He was kind of a dick. I mean, he still is in the completed published draft, but there was a lot of stuff he did in the first draft that, I mean, one of my critique partners was totally not on board with, and so I changed a lot about his character from the first draft to the draft that got published. But I guess I wanted him to care a lot about his people, and I needed something like that to have Aurora admire him for, because she wasn't just gonna fall for him because he was hot. I could not have a main character do that, so he needed something more than his looks and his supernatural charm to be able to really pull her in and have her kind of forgive the fact that he kidnapped her and kind of pulled her out of her world and forced her into this world that she didn't know about before she met him. So he really had to be this layered character who, yes, on the surface is kind of hard and mean, but only because he's so concerned about the safety of his people. Aurora, knowing that the fae exist, was a threat, so he saw her as that and kind of dealt with the situations when it came to her, knowing that she posed a threat to his people.
Are there any resemblance between you and Aurora?
I think when it comes to similarities between me and Aurora, yeah, there are some. I mean, I'm very goal-oriented, and once I have something in mind that I want, I will do whatever it takes to get it if it's that important to me. But also, I find myself, there's little bits of me in all the characters, so it's not just Aurora, but I mean, there are a lot of things that Aurora does that I would never do. Honestly, like, when she goes back to the hotel in Twisted Gift to save Allison, like, I love my friends and all that, but I don't know if I would be able to go back to that place that she managed to escape from. I think I would probably, like, just take off and go to a different country and hide out and probably, cry a lot and drink a lot of alcohol, because my mind would be going in circles to the point where I wouldn't know what was real and what wasn't, because learning that these creatures that exist are just walking around every day, you probably walk past them on the street, I don't think I would be as chill about that as she was. But yeah, no, a lot of her sass and her personality comes from me for sure. I don't know if I would like to live in the world of the twisted world. I mean, it's kind of our world. I based where it takes place off of Toronto here in Canada, so like we do technically live in that world. It's the Fae that kind of come into our world after their world is destroyed. So it does take place in our world, but I mean, would I want to live in a world knowing that there are also these creatures who potentially are feeding off of my emotions and my energy? Probably not. No, I don't think I would be super cool with that. Though there are some of the Fae that I would like to meet. Nikolai being one of them.
What are your 3 tips? Your best 3 tips for writing fantasy romance?
Honestly, when it comes to writing fantasy, some people don't even consider the twisted books to be fantasy. A lot of people consider them paranormal, which is totally fine with me. It's urban fantasy, and I'm not a huge fan of high fantasy or fantasy in general. So I don't really, I guess, do a lot of research, even though I didn't, because it wasn't really necessary in the world that I was writing, because it was in the human world. But say if I were to write a book taking place in the Fae world, then I would have to do a lot of research on like mythology and whatnot, and do a lot of world building, which I'm not a huge fan of. But when it comes to writing romance, I think it's super important to make sure that your main character and his or her love interest have chemistry, and it's not all superficial. Sure, like 2 characters can like each other because they both think they're super attractive. That's great. That's like on a physical level. But like intellectually, you really need to make sure that there is something more there, because it's going to be boring otherwise.
Where can you be found on social media, and where we can buy your amazing books?
So you guys can find me pretty much everywhere online. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Goodreads, Pinterest, all those things. And my books are available to purchase on all ebook retailers and a lot of other websites too. And you can order signed books on my website if you would like to order them directly from me and have them signed and personalized to you. And all my signed books come with cute little swag packs, so that's a lot of fun. And yeah, I would love to connect with you guys, so come say hi.
Thank you very much for being with us, Jessi, and sharing with us more about your amazing books. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope you guys really enjoy my new book, Twisted Gift. Bye!